Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Talking Reds. And we have got some news for you guys. It is on Alexander Isak and Rodrygo as well. Wow. I mean, last night we did a stream last night at 7 o'clock, but then after that, as always, I was always on Talking Reds. There's always a breaking news story after our stream. It seems to happen quite a lot at Talking Reds, but it is what it is. Alexander Isak is open to a move to Liverpool, according to Fabrizio Romano, which is absolutely massive news. 1 second, I'm just going to sort the camera out, make sure it's properly facing me. So, yeah, let me know your comments in the chat, whether you're a Liverpool fan, Newcastle fan, Real Madrid fan, whatever fan you are supporting. Make sure you get in the comments today and let me know your thoughts on the Alexander Isak news. And this could happen, guys. This could actually happen. It may be a dream. It might be hope more than expectation. But right now, with the news of Alexander Isak and Liverpool willing to pay a record fee for the Swedish striker, this could be happening anytime soon. And I know Newcastle fans have not wanted to hear the news about this. They've tried to avoid it at every possible cost. At some point, they've got to look at it in the face and say, yeah, it could possibly happen. Guys, let me know in the chat if you are here this morning. Welcome. It is Talking Reds. It is a Tuesday morning. Wednesday morning. I don't know why I said Tuesday morning. It is a Wednesday morning. Let me know in the chat your thoughts on Alexander Isak and also Rodrygo as well, because we are very much interested in the Real Madrid player. And they also, whilst you are live this morning as well, make sure you did hit that like button in the corner and also subscribe to the channel if you are new for all your latest Liverpool news and transfer news and football in general. We've got some big shows coming up. It's very interesting to see this in the morning, this Alexander Isak, because it has sped up. This Alexander Isak news has sort of sped up in the past 24 hours. Yesterday, we talked about it last night, how it came about from nowhere. I know from what I've been told that contact was made a few weeks ago with Alexander Isak, informal talks, but yesterday it all came out of nowhere. Romano, Ornstein, all the Newcastle journalists as well. Now Liverpool journalists are starting to pick up on it as well. James Pearce has had his say on it this morning. I'm just going to get James Pearce's news up 1 second. He did say something about it this morning. So yeah, Liverpool have communicated they're interested to do a deal around £120 million for Isak, according to James Pearce. And like I said, once it's been briefed by Liverpool, I said this last night, once it's been briefed by Liverpool, that means to me that Liverpool have had some form of green light, some sort of communication between themselves and Isak or his agent or, the camp of Isak, that this could be a go-ahead. And I said this last night, look, Newcastle fans want to not talk about it, but at the end of the day, what Romano said last night, saying that Isak is open to a move to Liverpool, that doesn't surprise me, because this would not come out. This would not come out. Liverpool would not make an approach. Liverpool would not be preparing a record bid if they had not been told by Isak's camp or Isak himself that they're open to it. That's one thing I will say. Let me know, guys, in the chat. There's a few people live right now. Get in the chat. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on Alexander Isak. Do you think Liverpool are going to break another record for themselves to get the striker in to Anfield? I think it is. You know what? It has always been hope more than expectation for me. But right now, the way the news is being reported, the way the news has been stepped up, how it's coming out, the Newcastle journalists are coming out and saying that their thoughts in it are sort of changing. Their views on the situation are changing. The ones close to Newcastle, the reporters close to Newcastle, it's more like, well, it's not for sale, but if someone were to come in that he wants to go to, then they might be open to selling him. So it's either not for sale or he is for sale. You can't contradict yourself. And exactly the same with Liverpool and Diaz. I've said the same with Liverpool and Diaz. Look, we're saying he's not for sale with Luis Diaz, but I can guarantee you if someone comes at the right price for Luis Diaz, he'd be sold. He'd be sold. ST from OT says, what is going on with this transfer stuff? Well, basically, ST from OT, it's quite clear. It's been quite clear for quite a while that Alexander Isak is Liverpool's number one target for that striking position. Ekitike was number two. Ekitike quite a similar profile to Isak, so they're going to look at a similar profile. But Isak is number one. And if there's a possibility, I've always said this, if there's a possibility, if that door slightly opens for Liverpool to go get Isak, they will push that door open even further. They will want to get it. He's their number one target. He's the one that Richard Hughes wants. He's the one that Arne Slot wants. And that's what Raymana has also come out and said. Alexander Isak is Arne Slot's first choice, Richard Hughes' first choice, and every person at Liverpool, Isak is their first choice. This has been very, very clear from the start of the window that Isak is our number one first choice for striker position. The issue is, the problem is the fact that Newcastle are not in a position they need to sell or want to sell. Isak is not the kind of person to put a transfer request in. So the deal has been complicated. But it doesn't mean the deal's not there to be done. Jake says money talks. It does if you put the money down. At the end of the day, if you put the money down and the player's willing to join you, then there's going to be conversation between the current club and the player about him going. There's always going to be that. And I've said the exact same about Luis Diaz. We might say the Liverpool journalists out there will say Diaz is not for sale. Diaz is not for sale. At the end of the day, if someone pays the money for Diaz, he's gone. It's the exact same with Alexander Isak. If Liverpool put up the money and Alexander Isak has given his desire to leave to Newcastle, then I can't see them stopping him. And there was a report yesterday about a few weeks ago. There was a meeting between Isak and Newcastle. And since that meeting, Newcastle have now pushed on to get Ekitike. Yes, the Newcastle reporters will say, "Oh, he's come there to play alongside Isak." They've got to say that. They've got to put the PR out. They don't want to panic Newcastle fans here. But really, if you look at it, can both play together? I don't think they can. The only way they play both together if one goes out wide, or they play a complete different system. And for me, playing a completely different system with that midfield is not the idea. They got Alanga to go on the wing. Where does Alanga play in all this? Are they going to put Isak on the left wing? Are they putting Ekitike on the left wing? I doubt it. And what for me, from my opinion, and what I'm seeing right now, it seems like they're just ready to replace Isak. They brought Ekitike in as a situation where they're ready to replace Isak. That's what I think. SC from OT says Isak must be careful of the language used in our SC from OT, if that's all right. He's going to have a better time at Newcastle, to be honest. If he does stay, he's missing out on progress. He won't see there. I think you're right, though. I do think you're right. I do think if Isak stays at Newcastle, I do think it'd be... if he stays at Newcastle, I think there is going to be progress there at some point in Newcastle. I think with Newcastle, they are a big enough club for me, and they've got the foundations there to build something very, very special. Very special. However, Isak's going into his prime. It's more of like, yeah, we've got potential to be there. We've got the potential to be fighting for titles at Newcastle. Got potential to be fighting for Champions League at Newcastle. At Liverpool, you're doing that now. We are reigning Premier League champions. If he joins Liverpool Football Club right now, he's joining the reigning Premier League champions that are there right now, challenging for titles, challenging for Champions Leagues. And not only that, as a striker, you're looking at Liverpool and you're thinking, Mohamed Salah, okay, the most creative player in the league right now. Got the most assists last year, not just the most goals, but the most assists. Florian Wirtz, one of the most creative players in world football, just joined them. I'm bagging lots here. Any striker, and I'm not just saying just Isak, I mean, any striker in the world will look at Liverpool and think, rubbing their hands together and think, if I was in front of that, I could bag lots. And this is why I want to bothered about who, in terms of Gyökeres. If we've got a Gyökeres, yes, he's not an Isak, but what Gyökeres is a goal scorer. All we need is a goal scorer. But the difference between Gyökeres and Isak is Isak offers much more than just goal scoring. Watkins is the same type of player. He becomes a topic, struggles to see progression at a bigger club. I did. The Saudi transfer window opens today. I didn't know that, actually, Paulo. I didn't know that. But very, very interesting regarding the Saudi transfer window, if it is open, and Darwin Nunez. I think we might see more on Darwin Nunez over the coming days, certainly, because it seems from what the reports are saying that Nunez is pretty much gone. I think James Pearce actually admitted that Nunez is set to move from Liverpool. There's interest from Saudi Pro League, said James Pearce. So yeah, I think James Pearce is spot on there with that. I think Darwin Nunez is pretty much gone this summer, regardless of whatever he did against Preston. I think it's already been decided by the club that he has gone. So it'd be interesting to see what Saudi clubs come in for Nunez and what they are willing to pay. And does that push Napoli or an AC Milan, for example, into paying up for Nunez? If they really want Nunez, they've got to pay up. And I think the Saudi teams might force them to do that. Or the Saudi team play up and he goes to play in Saudi. We'll see. I think we'll see much more Nunez. But regarding Isak, I just want to know if Newcastle fans are joining us this morning. I want to know what are your thoughts on it now? What are your thoughts on it now? Because all I've seen in the last, I mean, if you go to our TikTok, just go to our TikTok, the amount of abuse you get just for talking about Isak. You've seen it on Twitter as well. Newcastle fans are really, really upset about all this. And I don't know, is it denial? Is it just, are they do actually believe that Isak is completely going nowhere at all? And it's not even the fact that if you think Newcastle's going, Isak's staying or Isak's going, it's about the fact that they're shutting down every single conversation about him. They can't stand us talking about Isak. And I really want to know right now, having seen in the last 24 hours that we're preparing a record bid, that Romano said that he's open to a move to Liverpool. What are your thoughts right now? What are your thoughts, Newcastle fans? Is it changing by the hour? Are you open to the conversation now? Are you not open to the possibility? Are you accepting that there could be a possibility of Isak leaving? Because from what I've seen, it has been literally hands over ears and eyes closed. La, 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 la. But guys, and I've always said it, I said it on our TikTok as well, it's a possibility. Whether you like it or not, Newcastle fans, whether you like it or not, you can run from it, you can hide from it. Isak could be leaving you this summer. It is a slight possibility that it happens. And the reports are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And it won't go anywhere anytime soon. So you getting Ekitike, you can think all you want that is playing alongside Ekitike. If you watch them both play, there's no way that happens unless you change formation and you sacrifice a midfielder. There's no way Eddie Howe sacrifices a midfielder out of that midfield three. There's no way. I think he still plays with a midfield three, because that midfield three at Newcastle, having played against them as you know, Liverpool playing against them, that's the midfield three that hurt us. That's what you are known for. Newcastle's got one of the best midfields in world football. You can't break that up. You play around that midfield three. And if you break that up, you're just causing yourself problems. Yes, you can play different ways. You can have different formations. You know, like I said, I think Arsenal will try different things this season just to beat teams differently. But are Newcastle in a position to experiment a little bit? They've just got Champions League football. Can they retain Champions League football? Chelsea are improving. Man City are clearly improving. Arsenal are improving. You know, Tottenham will improve as well. Are they in position to start playing around with tactics? I don't think they are. I mean, Tony said that if we get Isak, the other fans will go to meltdown. Newcastle fans, I dread to think the meltdown they will go in if they lose Isak, because they're already crying now. Just for simply mentioning his name. We've not, you know, we're not. I've never really said that he's definitely joining Liverpool. I think he's going to join Liverpool. So imagine what it's going to be like. Imagine what it's going to be like if he does leave Newcastle for Liverpool. Oh, just imagine if Isak joins Liverpool and Ekitike ends up turning down Newcastle. It could happen. It's a possibility, but I don't think it will. From my stance on it, right? I think with Isak to Liverpool, it's more hope than expectation. But I think the stronger the reports are getting, and hour by hour, it's seemingly like Isak could come to Liverpool. And the report of what I've seen about him possibly not going to Liverpool is mainly Sky Sports. And if Newcastle fans, if you're having your hopes on Sky Sports being the legitimate outlet, and if you're putting your hopes and reliance on Sky Sports and them saying we're going to move on to Ekitike, then wow, I feel really bad for you, if I'm honest. Sky Sports said we want him for Verts, by the way. Sky Sports said they want him for Verts. So be very careful of what Sky Sports are saying. Yeah, they're not reliable anymore, Sky Sports. I've got to be very honest with you guys. They're not reliable at all. I always had a feeling that Verts wasn't going to be the only £100 million player plus player we buy this summer. Has anyone watched back the goals from last season? Only 2 good goals, in my opinion. Not sure on this guy. Which guy goal ratio? Are you on about Isak or Ekitike? Because Isak's an absolute bagsman. Ekitike is pretty good, but is better at dribbling than it is at scoring. I think Isak is the most complete forward in world football right now. Is he better than Haaland? For me, yes. As an out and out strike, as a forward, I think he is. Haaland obviously is probably the most clinical player in the world, alongside probably Harry Kane and Lewandowski. But I don't think he offers us more what Isak offers. So yeah, he says offers against us. But what I'm saying is that goal ratio is he doesn't need to score amazing goals. All we need is someone that can put the ball back in net. And Isak is one of the most clinical finishers in world football. And not only that, his link-up play and everything else that comes with it is built to drive at players. I think it gives so much space for like the Salah that can come inside. And I think this season, we're going to see Salah come inside a little bit more. I think we'll see Gakpo come inside a little bit more because of the wide players that we do have at the fullbacks, the attacking players we do have at the fullbacks. Kirkers and Frimpong will go as far up as they can in attack. This will naturally push Salah and Gakpo into the box. Therefore, Isak, being an all-round striker, ability to come back, ability to allow Verts to go beyond him and McAllister to go beyond him, I think that creates so many problems for whoever's against. And I think it not only creates great chances for Isak, I think it also creates very, very good chance for everyone else to score lots of goals as well. I recommend anyone go back the cameo of goals for last season. I don't know, just my individual opinion. But you're going back on just highlights alone there and looking at the goals specifically. They don't have to, like I said, they don't have to be incredible goals. I'm not expecting Isak to come in and score 40-yard bangers every single season. But what Isak will do, if he stays fit for the season, with Verts behind him and Salah to the right of him, is scoring 20-plus goals in the league. Easy. And like I said, regardless of what the goals he is scoring, we don't need a player that can score from outside the box. We don't need a player that can... We just need a player that can score. We don't have a striker that can score goals the way that scores right now. Nunez isn't that striker. Gakpo and Diaz are not strikers. We don't have that right now. And to give Verts and Salah that striker, then you're just absolutely laughing. Absolutely laughing. I do, and like someone said earlier, was it Perla that said earlier, if Liverpool sign Isak, it's done. I'm not kind of person that come. I'm more like I think we can win the league this season, but if we buy Isak, I'm sorry that we are so odds-on favourites to win that league this season. It is ridiculous. I'm not saying it's going to definitely happen because nothing's certain in life, nothing's certain in football. But what that does is, I'd say right now, as a percentage of winning the league, I'd say Liverpool are probably 40% at the moment. I'd say 40% Liverpool, 20%, 25% something like City, 20% Arsenal, whatever the rest. But if we sign Isak, that goes automatically up to 65% for me, a chance of winning the league. So who said that Isak was open to a move? I just got in, so not up to date yet. So Hell says here, Hella Hussar says here, who said that? So it was Romano. It was Romano after our stream last night. And if you watch Talking Reds often, you'll know that we do a stream every single night at 7 o'clock. And usually after that stream, after we finish the stream, after we end the stream, something big always comes out. Something big always comes out. And it did last night. And that was Romano, it was Hussar, that said Isak is open to a move to Liverpool. So, I mean, if he's open to a move to Liverpool, I think this has been bubbling up for quite a while. And like I said, the meeting between Newcastle and Isak, Liverpool have been waiting for this. Liverpool have been waiting for that meeting for a long time. And that meeting between Liverpool and Isak must have sparked something. It must have, because there's a reason why Newcastle are going for Ekitike all of a sudden. Because they weren't going for Ekitike. The names banded around for Ekitike were Liverpool, and there was Arsenal. I think there was another couple of, I think Man United might have been thrown into there, Chelsea might have been thrown into there. But Newcastle was never on the board for Ekitike. Since they've had that meeting, Ekitike is now an option for Newcastle. There's a reason for that. And it's not to play alongside. It's not a chance to play alongside each other. William says here, most complete striker in the world for me at the moment. I'm desperate for this guy. Mate, you know me. You know how much I've been banging on about Isak for a long, long time. And like I said, 3 months ago, I did a stream. 3 months ago, I did a stream. Go back on our videos on Talking Reds. Go onto our channel right now. Click Talking Reds. Go onto our videos. Not live videos. It was actually just a recorded video. Go on videos. Go down to 3 ambitious signings. Look at the 3 signings I said, ambitious signings I think Liverpool can get this summer. 3 months ago, before anyone talked about transfer news, before Salah and Van Dijk even signed new contracts. This is when I did this. It was Wirtz, it was Isak, and it was Rodrygo. Right now, we could possibly get all 3. That is for me. I'm absolutely shook. If we got all 3, when I literally said there could be 3 signs we could get this summer. And this was just me. If you go back to the stream as well, I was literally just saying it. I didn't think it would happen. I was just saying it. This is what I'd want. I think Chiesa's more nibble in the box than Isak. I think Chiesa would be a brilliant option, by the way. If we got an Isak, I'd be happy for Chiesa to be an option, a backup to all the front line, not just the right wing, left wing, up front as well. I'd be happy with that. I'd love to keep Chiesa in and around the squad. I think that Isak is tailor-made for this Liverpool team. We will be drinking the tears of rival fans for a couple of years, long it may continue. And if you join us on the stream last night, it was absolutely pouring down with rain in here outside. It was absolutely pouring down rain. And to me, that was Mother Nature saying that they are a Newcastle fan, because the tears were ridiculous. I will be drinking every bit of tears of rivals if we get Isak. If we get Isak, I hope I'm wrong. Take over this year. If we get Isak, mate, honestly. Wirtz already had a 1-2 combo with Salah in training. Imagine Isak joins and those combos finished by Isak. What a time to be an LLC fan. Apart from what happened to Jota. Obviously, yeah. It was not whatever happened. What happened to Jota was not something we should ever forget. And our hearts will always be with Jota. That's certainly something that needs to be said, and it absolutely will. We'll never forget what he gave us at all. And again, like I said, always my hearts are always with those that are affected most by the passing of Diogo and Andre. Just going on to what you said there. If the link doesn't excite you, then I think Chiesa would be better. I'm afraid you don't watch footy. Damon, are you FSG in right now? Surely. I've never, what? With FSG, they've always for me, I've always been very, very adamant on this. If they were to change the ways, I will change my opinion on them. And it doesn't mean I go back and apologize for what they have done previously, because they have made many mistakes and they haven't been ambitious. If we're honest with ourselves, they haven't been ambitious at all. But right now, if you're FSG out now, then if you're pushing FSG out right now, you can still be FSG out. But if you're pushing FSG out right now, it's not the right time. Because they actually are showing ambition. They're finally showing. I still have some qualms with them. I still don't agree with what they're doing in the ticket system. I still don't agree with the price that they're putting. I still don't agree with them pushing for certain things. I still think they want that sort of American branding sort of thing where it's... I think if the Super League came around again, I think they push for that again. I don't want that. But I am happy with FSG right now. FSG are finally doing what we've expected them to do all along. And that's to be ambitious off the pitch. That's to give the manager every bit of chance to go again. And if we're honest ourselves, they didn't do that under Klopp. We were top of the league in 2021. 2020, 2021, and we had an injury, injuries to centre backs, and we gave him that, we gave him Kabak and Ben Davies. That's not ambition. What we're now seeing this summer is finally some ambition. We shouldn't have to rely on ourselves to bring. We make so much money. It is out of this world. The fact that we can spend another 200 million without sales and still hit PSR compliance tells you everything how much money we make as a club. It really does. Golvesha said they're a bit excited about Pucky when everyone was hyping Nunez transfer. I was not convinced before we bought it. I think there weren't many players, people out there though, Golvesha, that weren't excited about Nunez. I thought it was a good signing at the time. It was a risk, and it was a risk that didn't really work. But it is what it is. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But Isak, for me, is a way of a lesser risk than what Nunez was. Remember to like and subscribe, people. Close to 1K. So close to the first 1K subscriber mark. It really does help the channel if you take a second to hit both buttons, please. Thank you so much, DB. Hope you are well this morning. Hope everyone else well in this morning as well. Damon, did it ruin your mood to see FSG on the parade? No, it doesn't. Why would it ruin my mood? I was celebrating the Premier League title. Why would it ruin my mood? I've not got anything against FSG. I've always been, if they do what they can to help the club, I'll happily back them. But when I criticised them, it was rightfully valid at the time, and I won't be going back to apologise for it because they deserved the criticism at the time. And if people that have protected them for that long and they didn't want to see what they were doing was wrong. If they was open to conversations about it, they'd have understood that people like me had valid reasons to not wanting FSG here. Yeah, and I've always said this: people go way too far. There's accounts online on Twitter that will have FSG out in their bios. They'll have FSG out tagging FSG out every day. They'll have FSG as a profile FSG out as a profile picture. That doesn't sit right with me because it completely takes away from the actual valid reasons to why everyone was critical of FSG. The way I see it is owners are there not to be the worst owners like any other relationship. They have pros and cons to everything. I mean, yeah, they've never been the worst owners in the world. Never been the worst owners. But I don't like the notion that they've been the best owners either. Because they might have been the best owners in the top 6. But in entire football, there wasn't at all. That's a disrespect to the rest of the football teams in the country. If I'm honest, I think Wrexham are very well run by Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhaney because they do everything they can to ensure Wrexham get up in the leagues, and which they have. The way I see it is with owners, they're not the worst owners, are you? Yeah. So yeah, they aren't the worst owners, not Glazers, but they weren't the best at the time. But right now, they've gone up in my opinion. And they deserve the praise. Absolutely deserve the praise. I'm going to be consistent in my opinion. I'm not going to all of a sudden. I'm not going to be biased on that. I'm not going to stick to FSG out because it suits my narrative or whatever. I don't have a narrative. I don't have an agenda. So, at the end of the day, they deserve absolute praise for what's going on right now. Verts, brilliant signing. Frimpong, Kirkes, brilliant signings. If we were to get Isak as well, guys, if this was going to happen, if Isak comes in, it would be the best summer I've seen for a long, long time. If he wants to join Liverpool, let him. Would definitely have a better cast around him by far. Who do you support, Jason? Who do you support? It'd be interesting to get some Newcastle fans in here. So I want your thoughts now because, like I said, Newcastle fans have been in and not wanting to hear any Alexander Isak. It would be very, very interesting right now to see your thoughts on Alexander. Are you still closing your ears? Are you still closing your eyes? Or are you actually open to the possibility of Isak joining Liverpool? Because that could be possible. Oh, you're worse than Arsenal fans. You're deluded like Arsenal fans. No. Not one of us has said it's definitely going to happen. Number 2, Arsenal fans, they think they can get a player like that without winning a title. The difference between Liverpool and Arsenal is we actually back it up with our actions and our words. We might say, oh, we'll go challenge for titles, but we actually do. And we actually go over the line. So, yeah, Damon, if Isak goes over the line, is this best window of your lifetime? Ooh, of my lifetime. That's a question. That is a question. That of my lifetime. Obviously, the Van Dijk was a January one, and then Alisson Fabinho was the same window, wasn't it? That was a good one. But it could be, I can't. Also, we've bought some great players in windows, but to buy Wirtz, Frimpong, Kirkes, and Isak, and that's for me. That's not the only ones for me. If Diaz goes, we'll probably bring a winger in, and we still need a centre back. This window could possibly be the best window of my lifetime. I can't really think back to when I was younger and what, because transfers are different now. Transfers are way different now. Back when you were younger, you didn't hear any reports. Not really. It just came out. If it's signed, you'd put on Sky Sports News. It's signed. Oh yes, that's a brilliant signing. Right now, Sky Sports News don't have that anymore. It's more. It's report after report after report. Romano, tweet after tweet after tweet. It's no surprise now in transfers. So it's a bit strange. So I think it's easier to remember transfers now than when I was younger because of how much it's reported about. Back then, it was just like a couple of days. Oh, it's close to signing. Oh, it's signed. That's it. Now it's weeks and months of reports. It's a year. A year before it could be report. Oh, next summer we're going for this guy. That didn't happen back when I was younger. So but I think it could be the best window I've ever seen if we get Isak over the line. And remember, a centre back is certainly on the cards. And if, like I said, for me, I think now I've changed my mind on Diaz. I think Diaz goes. I think someone does pay for Diaz. I don't know who, but I think someone will pay for Diaz. But yeah, so I think we'll get a winger as well, hopefully. So let's go on to Diaz, actually. Obviously, Bayern Munich are set to return with an improved bid. £59 million bid was rejected by Liverpool. Liverpool have valued him at £86 million. How much does Bayern Munich come back with that now? £59 million bid rejected. I think £86 million is a big valuation for Diaz. I don't know, actually. I think it's okay. Do you think Liverpool take money off that in order to let Diaz go? Because it's quite clear Diaz does want to go now, for me. Diaz has been reported to have said to Liverpool that he wants to go. So, at what point do Liverpool say, "Okay, you can go, but we'll put less on it"? Because £86 million is Bayern Munich going to pay £86 million? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they do. And another report was actually saying that if they're not willing to budge on Diaz at Liverpool, I think Bayern Munich could be going for Rodrygo. But also Liverpool want Rodrygo as well. So, but it's very, very interesting here. It could be definitely a very interesting 2 weeks, I'd say, at Liverpool and at Bayern Munich as well, and Real Madrid. I mean, it could be a massive, massive domino effect here. If Ekitike goes to Newcastle, that could set off Isak going to Liverpool. If Diaz goes to Bayern Munich, that could set off Rodrygo going to Liverpool. If Diamande signs for Palace, that could set off Guehi going to Liverpool. I think we're waiting here. So it's more of a waiting game for a lot of transfers and whether their clubs replace them or not as well. And they've got to do that. Bayern Munich are reportedly willing to pay up to £86 million for Rodrygo. That's funny, isn't it? That's funny that we've put an £86 million price tag on Diaz, but according to reports like Bayern Munich are willing to pay £86 million for Rodrygo. That is a funny one. Diaz has some open play goals ratio as Salah last season in all comps. Diaz runs every minute on pitch too. I think with Diaz though, mate, goal ratio is the fact that it's his age. Obviously, he's not agreeing with the wages on. He's clearly not agreed. I think he probably wants to stay, but on a better wage. But Liverpool are willing to give him a contract. And we can't hold players down that don't want to be here. If they want to go, then I think they have every right to go. Liverpool are wanting him to stay here for 2 years and leave for free. But Diaz might not want that. At the end of the day, he's not guaranteed first team football at Liverpool. Gakpo is our first team winger now. And with Rodrygo, I'd say he's just as good as Diaz. And I think what Rodrygo has is his age on his side. So Rodrygo's ceiling's up there. Well, Diaz is probably at his ceiling right now. I don't think he can get any better. The only way Diaz gets better is if he's more consistent. Because I think he's a fantastic player. It's just not as consistent as I like him to be. I think on his day he's probably better than Gakpo. It's just not as consistent as Gakpo. That's the issue. And I think Gakpo is probably better of a goal threat more than Diaz for me. But yeah, I've always been the same with Diaz. Look, if he wants to go, let him go. If we keep him, keep him. I'm happy either way, if I'm honest. As long as we replace him properly, if he does go. And Rodrygo for me would be absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. How much would we pay for Rodrygo though? Maybe if we got Rodrygo and Isak, how much we paid already? About 170 million for the signs we made already. Isak's about 120 million. Sales would probably, you know what, with sales, we could probably get 200 million back at least for sales, if I'm honest. Diaz, I think we'll get about 70 million. Nunez, about 50 million himself. I think we'll get about 200 million back through sales. So really, our net spend could be about just over 100 million. I reckon we sell Diaz for at least 70 million pounds. I reckon we sell Diaz now, Daz. I do think Diaz. It's all about the price in it, I think. And this is what I'm saying about Isak. These Newcastle fans say, "Oh, it's not for sale, it's not for sale." But we're saying the same thing about Diaz. Everyone has a price tag. Everyone is for sale. If someone pays up the money, I think they go. If that player wants to go, like the only players that are not for sale are the players that don't want to go, and the team don't want them to go, and the players don't want to go. That's the only players that are not for sale. If Newcastle don't want to go, and Liverpool don't want to sell him, he's not for sale. But right now, Diaz wants to go, so therefore I think he is for sale if they play up the money. It's the same with Isak. If Isak wants to go and Liverpool play up the money, then Isak's for sale. So they can say it's not for sale all they want. They can shout from the rooftops. They can shout from the hills. They can shout from the Angel of the North. They can stand on top of the Angel of the North and shout all they want. Isak is for sale if he wants to go. Because all Liverpool have to do is pay up the money. And you've seen how Liverpool are moving already this window. Wirtz was going to Bayern Munich. We slapped our money down. We put our interest in. He spoke to Richard Hughes, and all of a sudden, he's a Liverpool player. It might be an unpopular one, but I hope Diaz goes. Not been a fan of his character over the last month. I don't exactly want players that want to play for us. I mean, I said the same. I don't. If players don't want to play for us, then I don't want players that are here that don't want to play for us. And I said the same thing about Diaz as well. Look, Diaz, if he wants to go, I think you got to handle it the right way. It's always about handling the right way. I've not got a problem with players wanting to go or going. You've got to handle it the right way. I was the same thing about Trent. If Trent, there's going to be people out there, I've said this so many times, there's going to be people out there that Trent has to stay at Liverpool. It says that because it's Scouse, because of Liverpool fan. For me, I'm not like that. If he wants to go for a new challenge, then fair be it, but do it the right way. And he didn't do it the right way. That was my issues with Trent. It didn't go about it the right way at all. It disrespected the club, and it continued to disrespect the club over in Madrid. So that doesn't sit right with me. Diaz the same. If he wants to go play first team football at Bayern Munich, fair dues, and go get a better wage. That's you. Careers are short, but do it the right way. Have some respect for the club. Plus, if Newcastle sells us, Isak could loosen up the PSR and allow them to spend more money. I mean, that there's always been reports, Daz, aren't there? There's always been reports about Newcastle being very wary of PSR. If they want to get Ekitike for 70 to 80 million pounds, they've got to sell a big player. They're not going to get that money back from Gordon. They're not going to get 78 million pounds for Gordon. Isak's that one. Isak is that sale to get that money back. And not only that, they sell Isak. That could be their Coutinho sale. Just like we sold Coutinho, we got Fabinho in, we got Alisson in. It turned us in from top 4 contenders to title contenders. They can improve elsewhere on the pitch. I don't think Isak's their most important player. Yes, he's their goal scorer. Yes, goal scorers are seen like the most important players. But for me, their most important part of that pitch is their midfield. And if they bring Ekitike in and sacrifice midfielder, that is going to do them bad. It's going to do them bad. It's not going to work for them for me. Let's gonna get some more things up here. Cedric, how are you doing this morning, my friend? This is right time for Isak to shine. If he stays, he's setting. 1 second, I can't get it all up. He's setting himself for average. I don't think. I think it's quite disrespectful to Newcastle. I don't think they're average. I think, like I said, I think they can actually turn into title challengers. But I think a sale like Isak could push them into that. If they sell Isak, get Ekitike up front, and then they can use the rest of the money to spend elsewhere and improve elsewhere. I think they could be a serious outfit without Isak. But I don't think there'd be a serious outfit changing formation, if I'm honest, and sacrificing midfielder. I did read something into Isak. Should Ekitike deal go through for Newcastle without a major sale, there will be major PSAR issues. Not entirely sure how true, but it makes sense. I think, yeah, I've also read that as well. I do think that if they were to buy Ekitike, that they could be in PSR troubles without a big sale. I think that's quite clear. And I think Newcastle reporters have done that as well. So, yeah, I think they've got to do a big sale. I don't think Gordon is that big sale. Newcastle fans will say it's Gordon. It's not. No one's paying 70 to 80 million pounds for Gordon. Not even us. Yeah, I know we was interested in Gordon before. We're not paying that for Gordon. There's no way. It is Isak. Isak's that big sale. I was really excited when Torres joined, said Diaz. I mean, this does feel like a Torres transfer, doesn't it? It does feel like a Torres transfer. It does feel like a Suarez transfer. It feels like an absolute game changer. I think Verse is a game changer, but Isak's even another game changer. I mean, it's very rare we sign 2 game changers in a window. This is why it is very, very exciting right now to be a Liverpool fan regarding transfers. It's going to go on to a little bit on the Konate and obviously Rodrygo situation, obviously Real Madrid being the ones. Liverpool are pushing to sign Rodrygo this summer, according to AS Diario, which is a Spanish outlet, and ready to go all in for Rodrygo as well. That is a report on that. I mean, guys, just take a moment. I just need to take a breather here. Let's take a breather. Wirtz, Salah, Isak, Rodrygo. Wirtz, Salah, Isak, Rodrygo. That would be, I'm not even exaggerating here, that would be the best attack in world football. And even if you don't get a Rodrygo, Wirtz, Salah, Isak and Gakpo is incredible. I think Rodrygo could be even better than Gakpo. I think Gakpo's sensational. I'm happy with either one. Them two battling out for left wing is just perfect. Rodrygo's ceiling is so high, and it's always been a player that has got the talent. I just think he needs the right coach and he needs the right system. And who better than Arne Slot to get best out of Rodrygo? Yeah, Kirkes is a game changer too. Rodrygo could be another madness. I mean, yeah, Kirkes technically is a game changer because it's not the Robertson last season, not Robertson that we're used to seeing. So it's technically a game changer. If it was the Robertson from 3 seasons ago, then Kirkes isn't a game changer because Robertson were doing it already. Yeah, average, you're delusional. You think Newcastle average? They're building behind the scenes. Yeah, I don't think they're average at all. If I'm honest, I don't think Newcastle are average at all. I think they are building something very, very special at Newcastle. I just think if they're going to bring in Ekitike and play alongside Isak, I think that would be to their detriment. I don't think dropping midfielders and changing that formation works for them for me. Just going to play a devil's advocate on this. What if we include Konate in the deal of Rodrygo, especially if contract talk goes further in the window? That could be a possibility, Mr. Veeds. It could be a possibility, if we're honest. It really could be a possibility that happening. Obviously, the Konate news is not good, is it? It's not looking good right now. I think the side I'm on right now, I want Konate to stay, obviously. I want him to stay. I want him to stay for a long time. I want him to sign a new contract. But right now, my head is right now. My thoughts, my opinions on it. I think Konate is gone. And I think it'll be next summer. I think he's gone for free. I think it's going to happen to us again. going for free to Real Madrid, and I can't. It doesn't sit right with me again. And it is. We spoke about it last night. It's a catch-22. Do we sell Konate now this summer and take some responsibility as a club? Do we take control? Don't allow players to go for free next summer. Do we sell him now? Or do we let him go for free next summer? But if we let him go for free next summer, we've got him for the season. And we've got a good chance of retaining the title. But if we're selling this summer, it puts us into a situation where we've sold 2 centre-backs when we needed a centre-back already, which puts us in a tricky situation. However, it's like, I don't want us to sell him because we need him this season, sorry. But then I also don't want us to let someone else go for free again. I don't want Real Madrid to control the narrative again. We need, as Liverpool Football Club, it's about principle, isn't it? It's about principle. It's like, it's principle over this season. Focus on the season. I want to win the season. If the only way I can accept Konate going this summer is if we can replace him and Kwanzaa. But do I think we're going to do that? No. And that's the issue. If we get a Gehi in, for example, Gehi really should be not a Konate replacement. But if Konate is to go, we need Gehi to replace Konate and then bring in a Kwanzaa replacement as well. It needs to come in as well. Spurs, that's where the Gehi leaks come from. The more you go into it, the more you realise how insane this window has been. I mean, I think Gehi should come in regardless for me. If Konate stays, even if Konate signs a new contract, Mark Gehi should come in. Or another centre-back to replace Kwanzaa. It has to do. Quasi, we have no options on left wing, but only occupies right. Yeah, everyone talks about left issues. I think regarding the right wing, obviously Chiesa can. I'm hoping Chiesa does stay. I think that looks at Rodrygo though as well, goal ratio. If Rodrygo comes in, he can cover all the front three. And when Salah goes to AFCON, he can cover the right wing. And Frimpong can cover the right wing as well. He's not as good as Salah, obviously. I think Rodrygo would be better. But I think we do have cover for the right wing. I think Rodrygo would be a perfect signing for us. Because what Rodrygo would do as well is not only play on the left and can play up front, is if Salah does go in 2 years' time, when his contract runs out, Rodrygo slots in there perfectly. We've already got the replacement there for Salah. That would be one of the best moves right now of Rodrygo. It really would. If Diaz is to go, Rodrygo would be the perfect move for me. Chiesa has to stay. I don't think I can live without the chant. I mean, just a chant alone to keep Chiesa. But I think Chiesa, for me, I think he deserves an opportunity to stay. Yes, his injury record's not good, but it just offers so much versatility. He can play, like I said, he can cover up front. As long as we get a striker, I think he can cover all 3 positions. And on his days, he's fucking good. He's good. He's very good. How do we know other players ain't good as Salah on the right? They never get the chance. I don't know if you're on about goal ratio, but are you on about, I don't know. You're on about Chiesa? How do you know he's not better than Salah? I mean, Salah's on course for a Ballon d'Or. I think Salah speaks volumes himself to how no one's good enough to replace Salah. No one is good enough to replace Salah. Let's be honest right now. Not even Rodrygo himself, not right now. I think he'll replace him. If we got Rodrygo in, like I said, in a couple of years' time, he'll replace Salah on the right. But he can certainly give competition to Salah. I think Rodrygo will certainly give competition to Salah, as in like happy to rest Salah and not drop off massively. Whilst I think Chiesa might be a bigger drop off than what Rodrygo would be. But yeah, Salah's the best right winger in world football. So for me, no one's as good as Salah. The only ones that are close, and that's it. They're not even close, really. Are probably Saka and Dembele. That's the only ones close. So you got Salah there, you got Saka and Dembele here, and then under that, then you got your Rodriguez, then you got Chiesa's down there. So I don't think there's anyone out there that can replace Salah right now. Not a chance. But what we need to do then is when he does go to AFCON in December, January, is make sure the replacement for him in that time is not a huge chop off. And for me, I think Rodrygo would be that. PSG had Mbappe and scored goals. Are they better without him or without him? But I get that. But Salah's goals won us the league. I don't know where you're going at here. I think yes, Mbappe. I think PSG have got a better team now. Mbappe's gone, but without Salah, we don't win the league. Without Salah last season, we don't win that league. PSG without Mbappe win their league. I'll love to think what everyone else thinks in the comments about that. Is Salah that good? I'd put Rio on the left and let him learn from Salah. We have to a baller in the making with Rio. I absolutely love Rio Engamoa. He's absolutely sensational. But I think what we've got to do is maybe let him be, hopefully keep him grounded, keep him playing right. Look, bed him in right. There's no need to rush him into the first team. He's a young lad. He's got bags of potential. No need to rush him into the first team. I think with what is going on right now, with Gakpo on that wing already, and if Rodrygo to come in, I think we're doing it right. We don't need to rush Rio in. I think he'll play quite a few minutes this season, I think we'll see Rio more this season than we did last season. Obviously, he's going to be eligible for a professional contract when he's 17. And I think we're doing it right with Rio. Ease him in. And I think with the potential that he has got, yes, is absolutely incredible. I've seen at the weekend, because he played well against Preston, I've seen people comparing to Yamal. No, Yamal's a different level. Yamal's doing this at 16 in the Champions League, in the La Liga, is the best player at Barcelona. Different level. But Rio has a massive ceiling. I just think we've got to ease him in correctly. Feeds is confused as well. What Gomez is saying here? Are you saying we should get rid of Salah after he backpacked us to? I'm confused as well, mate. I'm absolutely confused with that. I don't know what you mean by Salah. How do you know people are better than Salah if you don't give him a chance? Salah last season was the best player in the world. Yes, he might not get the Ballon d'Or because you've got to win the Champions League to get the Ballon d'Or. You've got to do something else. What Salah was doing last season was absolute jerk. For the age that he is as well, was an absolute jerk. There is no one better than Salah, especially not at Liverpool. And without Salah last season, we don't win that title. It's mental how Rio is only 16. If you can add an end product, it's a cracker. I think Rio probably does have an end product, but like I said, it's much harder to embed into an adults team than it is to the under-21s. Playing even against Preston, these are veteran footballers, not all of them veteran, but very well-sound footballers at a high level. To go and jump into there and expect goals off the bat is hard. But yeah, he absolutely did fantastically well against Preston. Absolutely. And I think what I said on Sunday as well was him and Trey Ione especially, and Ben Dirk as well, they're not afraid to make mistakes. If you make a mistake, you get the ball back. Give me the ball. I want the ball. Not afraid to get the ball back and try again. And Rio did that. He hove it across earlier on in the game. And the next time he got the ball, he said, no, I'm playing my game here. I'm driving this defense. And he was causing them absolute problems. Mr. Fees, go back and watch the highlights feature of our games. Look for clutch moments that won us the game or as draw. It was not exclusively Salah that had those moments. The moments are evenly spread out among the team. I mean, I get what you mean. It wasn't just Salah. Obviously not. But majority of the time, it was Salah saving us. It was either a Salah assist or a Salah goal or just something that Salah does to do that. Like Mr. Fee says here, take away Salah and we don't win the league. We don't win the league. Gravenberch had an incredible season. Van Dijk had an incredible season. Gakpo was decent as well. McAllister, for me, the best midfielder last season for us. But without Mohamed Salah in that team, we don't even get. I don't think we get top 2, if I'm honest. I really don't. I'm glad that people have different opinions though, goal ratio. It's nice to see people's different opinions. It's what football's all about. It's what people shouldn't have to have the same opinions. It's not an echo chamber. I'm intrigued to see on that. I'm shocked to see comment, but it is what it is. I think personally, without Salah last season, we don't win that league at all. But yeah, it is what it is. If you think different, then fair enough. But yeah, I think no one gets above Salah at the moment for Liverpool. But like I said, if Rodrygo is to come in, I think it'd be a perfect direct replacement to Salah in a couple of years' time. If Salah is to leave in 2 years' time. But yeah, thank you for watching this morning. Make sure you do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Back live again at 7 o'clock tonight. Make sure you join us tonight at 7 o'clock. And I will be back in the morning at 10 o'clock. Hopefully 10 o'clock tomorrow. This morning, I had to keep pushing it back because people came to visit to fix the dryer. So it is what it is. But yeah, thank you for watching this morning. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. And again, join us tonight at 7 o'clock for the latest on Liverpool news. Thank you for watching.